I bet on myself. KG so big that they think I'm crazy. Let out the beast, no, they can't tame me. Don't play with me, better mind your business. I cannot stop now, I ain't finished. I'ma keep on going till I got that. Okay, the way that I'ma do it, they can top that. No way, critics trying to hate, but I don't talk back, I know that. Plotting on the kid with the bull, tell him all that. I'm the one that I'ma gamble.
It is the For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network, presented by Durham Remodeling, Ryan Allison Tattoo, and Jared Zoo Country Financial. And this is week 3 of the NFL season, and For Fantasy's Sake is presented by Clint's Draft House Pizza and Grill. It is good to be here for my first show of the year with you gentlemen. We've got Dan the Man, Gotham Gambling. We've got Joe the Show, Joe Winkle, and I am Nick the I better not finish that one. How are you guys doing this morning, gentlemen?
Whoops.
If the song wouldn't get us copyrighted, that'd get us demonetized.
Hey, man. We haven't gotten, the song hasn't gotten us clipped yet, I guess. The song goes hard.
Right?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you guys doing, man? We living?
I think so. Florida State didn't play this week, so they didn't lose, right?
They played yesterday and won, bro.
Did they play? Did they win?
Yeah.
They beat Cal.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
they beat the
first win. So Joe's happy today. He's in a good mood.
Listen, they beat the woke agenda. They beat Cal. They didn't get Tallahassee.
Oh, that's a good one.
In Florida, the woke agenda died. Shocker. Cal also missed a kick. Guess what happened? It went right. That's weird. Ooh, deep state conspiracy. But also, more importantly than Florida State winning, who cares about those losers? The Illinois Fighting Illini, 4-0. Playoff bound. National championship watch. 12-0 watch. 15-0 watch. 16? I don't even know how many games you need to win now to win the title. But watch out. Just saying.
And Iowa and Iowa State both get nice wins. So good weekend all around, huh?
It was a good weekend all around. It was. DJ was intoxicated yesterday, I think, after officiating a wedding. I
hope it was during the wedding he was intoxicated, like while officiating. That would have been great.
Yeah, like he's up there just sipping. He's up
like,
there.
I would pay for him to do my wedding if he did that. If he was just have him do mine, if he was just hammered the whole time.
Our admins know. Illini Natty.
And Brian has also joined us. Good morning, Brian.
Morning, gentlemen. How are you?
We're doing all right, and hopefully we can win some matchups today, win some DFS, and we will break it all down here in the next 86 minutes and change. How about we get underway and we begin? We'll take a look at a few guys or a backfield in there as well on the list. But we're going to buy or sell. Given what we've seen the first couple weeks of the season, do you like long term? Do you think it's a flash in a pan? We'll begin with number 6 for the Bucks. Revitalized Baker Mayfield. Buying or selling Baker here in 2024?
I'm buying. Baker's shown, if you look at almost every kind of situation he's played good in, he likes playing with his back against the wall. I feel like every year some new team pops up and everyone starts doubting Tampa in the NFC East. He's playing great. There seems to be a great fit, and he seems to love the way they have everything running down there. So if he's still available in your league and you lost Tua, then I'm going for him straight up.
I would hold on Baker at the moment, actually, just for the fantasy sake. Now, shout out, DJ's not here, and I actually dropped that line today. There's $10 to the bank account. Joe Egan, hello in the comments. We as well as everybody dropping them. Just want to know, drop your guys' questions and whatnot. We will be answering them. Most of the questions we answer at the end of the show. So if you do drop questions throughout it, don't think we are ignoring you, definitely. But we appreciate you guys all being here. There's sometimes too we will get through them bits and pieces through the show as well if we got time. But for Baker purposes, just in general, I would buy because he has been locked in. That team, I'm mad that I basically sold some stock on them coming into the season, thinking that last year was a little bit of a mirage. No, that team is legit. I do think Danny's though probably right. Like if you did have someone like a Tua or a Jordan Love early, and you had to go to a Baker, I think that's not a horrible idea. But for fantasy purposes, I still think there's maybe a little bit of ebbs and flows, just numbers wise.
I'm buying him as a low end QB1 type buy, QB 8 to 12 overall. Still have 5 or 6, 7 guys that I like above him, but like if I had a choice between Anthony Richardson and Baker, I'd rather have Baker right now.
I think he's a really good stream quarterback. Like if you need a quarterback and you look at he's playing a bad defense, then go for him. But the problem is he's in a division with 2 really good secondaries. So you really just have to watch out for that one.
So we've got a mixed bag, but for the most part, we like what Baker's doing. He's baking, and what a turn his career has taken since playing for the Rams on like 12 hours notice. That has kind of rejuvenated and revitalized his career. Even though I still have I've still got a hole in my heart from the Raiders bet that I lost that night because of that 98-yard drive that he manicured at the end of that one. So
I
like what Baker's doing.
Nick and I did a show together that night. He was crushed, guys. Let me just tell you.
It should have been.
You know how hard it was
win.
Growing up watching the Panthers. You watch how bad he played, and then his first game in LA, he just does that. Like that,
I know, right?
That just pissed every person in the Carolinas off. Exactly.
So now we'll move on to the Chiefs backfield. They got some rough news this week with Isaiah Pacheco going on to IR with a leg injury. So that backfield now consists of guys like Samaje Perine, who's kind of been their third down back. Carson Steele, I believe he is a rookie. They just picked up Kareem Hunt this week. I don't know, and I don't believe he is active or anything today. I haven't dug too deep into that yet. But that Chiefs backfield, is there anything to buy? Is it all a sell? How are we feeling about the running backs in Kansas City post Pacheco till he comes back?
It's a sell, I think, to me. I mean, if it wasn't for Pacheco, I don't think we would even be having as good as the year Pacheco has had in the last year and a half. Like, I don't think we'd even be having this conversation if he wasn't on their team. The only bright side I see is Perine does really well as a receiving back. And when you have the best quarterback in the NFL, having a good receiving back usually tends to help you. So if you're like desperate and need a last minute player, then you could pick up Perine. I think would be a nice pickup, but I'm selling that backfield. I'm looking somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm selling it as well. Just not much juice there. Their offense has been a bit weird, but I think they're gonna, still be fine, all things considered. But just not much juice in that backfield really on a down-to-down basis for me.
It's a complete sell. We were talking about the Carson kid there. He's actually an undrafted rookie out of UCLA. He played 1 year there and 2 years at Ball State, I believe. And he averaged 5 yards a carry in college. But I think they're just going to Kareem Hunt is not playing today, but I wouldn't be surprised if they bring him up next week. I mean, it's not like he's got much to learn in terms of a playbook. He played there before. So I think next week it'll be 3. If you wanted to call a 3-headed monster, you can. It's actually just basically a 3-headed whatever. But yeah, I don't think you'll have any inconsistency from any of them.
Yeah, I agree. I'm selling here. If there was just one guy that they had to worry about, I think I would be willing to buy the one guy. But you mentioned 2 or 3-headed monster. There's just not a whole lot of fantasy relevance there, in my opinion. Let's move on down to the Bayou. New Orleans has gotten off to a roaring good start. Alvin Kamara, Rashid Shaheed, phenomenal first 2 weeks. Derek Carr, just this entire Saints team, super fun to watch the first couple weeks. They murder the Panthers and then they depants the Cowboys. I think week 2's performance was the most surprising of the two, but Kamara and Shaheed especially, are we buying or are we selling? Maybe even just in general, the Saints offense. How are we feeling, buying or selling New Orleans? Oh, he's muted.
Danny versus the mute button.
Oh, he had it all ready to go.
Man, damn it. I was so hyped for that. I am putting the house on Kamara and Shaheed. Yeah, blame me because I was opening a candy bar. So that Kamara has been outstanding. And I think we would be having this conversation last year if he wasn't suspended and hurt first couple weeks of the season. Shaheed, if you noticed it last year, Shaheed tended to be like Carr's favorite option outside of Olave. And it reminds me a little bit of, you remember like the first year Gabe Davis kind of blew onto the scene, and it was like you never saw him touch the ball unless it was a 75-yard pass downfield. Like that's what it kind of reminds me of. And they had him mic'd up the other day, or like one of the last 2 games, and he just said, just run because you're going to beat them. Especially this week, they're going against one of the worst defenses right now in the NFL. I think by week 6 or 7, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But week 3, the way this Eagles defense has just been kind of ran through, these 2 guys are going to be scary.
I will buy every bit of stock of Alvin Kamara. He is back. He is juiced. Even if the Saints kind of fall off, like, he is going to be a merchant. I am a little more skeptical on Rashid Shaheed because he is more of a big play. Speaking of merchant, he is a big play merchant. He is a
Very boom bust.
Yeah, you have to rely on, like, is Rashid Shaheed going to do anything if he's not catching a 70-yard bomb? But if you're in a PPR league, a 70-yard touchdown is 14 points. So, I mean, if that's all you need, sometimes that's all you need. So we'll see. I think today, yes, Shaheed is probably worth starting if you are in a certain spot, because the Eagles are a disaster right now, at least defensively and slightly offensively. But yeah, buying Alvin Kamara, selling slightly Rashid Shaheed.
So for me, I'm buying the whole Saints offense, but I agree with Joe about Shaheed. Boomer bust. But the one thing that's kind of been interesting, they've had 2 really awesome weeks, but Olave really hasn't done his thing. So that's kind of a precursor for a little later in the show. But I think they're going to have a get right game for Olave possibly today. And but in general, I'm buying the Saints offense for sure.
Okay. It's kind of where I thought that was at. We got one more here, and then we'll take a break. Travis Kelce has been kind of non-existent to begin the season. His stat line has essentially been a blank space. Can he shake it off? We buying or selling Travis Kelce?
I'm selling you for that.
Tight end is kind of a barren wasteland right now, and Travis Kelce is in the barren part.
I'm selling you for that pun. Like that. That was bad. That was very bad. I'm disappointed in you. Like, I know you're a dad, but like that was even more bad for a dad joke.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. God, the Midwestern dad jokes. What have I come to? God. Now I was selling on him last year. I think the way, like you said, it's kind of a toss-up at this point. The top 5 drafted tight ends have not finished top 5 once so far this season. I mean, we saw Isaiah Likely go off. We've seen a lot of these low-level guys go off. I think if you're in like a late redraft league, or if you can, at least for sure next year, I'm staying away from tight ends, and I'm just picking up a couple and streaming them like in round 6, round 7. Like I don't see any reason Travis Kelce is going to have a great year this year. I mean, he's going to have his games like he normally does, but he doesn't look like he's in it.
I'm selling just for the fact that they're trying to like get him to the playoffs. You know, like he's going to be a playoff guy. He's not going to be a regular season guy this year. That's where I'm at with him.
I'm going to go contrarian. It sounds like I'm going to buy him, and the only reason I'm buying him is we just talked about the Chiefs' backfield. He's going to start getting those little 1 or 2 yard dump offs from Mahomes. He had one last week that just barely missed, so he's not done yet. I don't think. I mean, you can fall off the face of the earth. Some people do, but I'm going to actually go contrarian and buy him and say with no running backs, it'll be the Worthy and Kelsey show.
Are you a stocks guy, Brian? You out here buying the dip?
I'm buying the dip, man.
Yeah, baby.
If you think about Travis Kelce's career, I don't know if you could buy any lower than right now.
Not
Exactly.
really.
But I mean, like the thing with him is this is how it started last year too. He missed week 1, week 2 and 3. He did not do well. Week 4, 5, 6, they play like when they got to like playing division teams that don't really have great defenses or great defensive coverage towards tight ends. He had like 2 or 3 great weeks, or at least like a week where it's like, oh, he had 18 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns. And then everyone says Travis Kelce's back. The next 5-6 weeks, he kills you in fantasy. So I'm at the point, like Joe said all last year, never take a Josh Allen receiver because there was too many targets. At this point, I'll take Patrick Mahomes. I'm not taking anyone on the Chiefs offense at this point because you just never know what's going to happen.
Rashee Rice, I think, is worth it.
Oh,
The stuff they've designed for him. I'm not even just saying that because I got him in a league. Like the stuff they've designed for him, the way he's actually looked, I think Rashee Rice is definitely worth having.
And I also want to verify my buy. I'm not saying Travis Kelce is going to be what he was or has been for the last 10 years, but in the tight end market that we all just said kind of stinks, he'll still finish top 5 in tight ends to me for the year. So
yeah, I think if you can find someone, like if you're trading and you can potentially be like, hey, Kelsey sucks, throw him in for a cheapie. Like, when it comes to the big games at the end of the year, they're going to find a way to get him the ball.
That is buy or sell for week 3. We will take a quick break. We'll talk toys for tots, and we will play Ultimate Roster. We'll have some fun with that in just a moment here on For Fantasy's Sake.
For Frequency's Sake has you covered on all things sports. From the squared circle to the hardwood and the gridiron to the speedway, we've got something for everyone. Walk down the aisle with the boys from Cards Subject to Change every Sunday as they take a deep dive into everything pro wrestling. Head on over to the hardwood with Doug Green and Watching the W each week for all the news from the WNBA. Want more insight from Pit Row? Check out the Green, White, and Checkered podcast where they give their insight on everything happening on and off the track. Need your gambling fix? We've got you there. Dan Hancock and Gotham Gambling will help you cover the spread with the Golden Ticket Show. Football more your style? Explore the waters of NFL DFS with DFS Deep Dive with Brian Craighead and Jordan Kernan each week. More into the science portion of the game? The Professor John Bush and Dennis Michelson take you into their science lab and dissect your week in the data lab. Need to know who to start last minute? The network's flagship show, For Fantasy's Sake, is here in a pinch. The fellas come to you live every football Sunday from 10 to 11:30 Central with the week's best DFS, gambling, and lineup advice. And wrap up your Sundays with Joe Winkle and Nick Brinks as they come to you live with educated ignorance, looking at all the day's action. Not enough football on Sunday? Not a problem. Kick your feet up at lunch on Monday and slip into the football lounge with Mark and Dan while they look at the week that was in news, notes, and more. For Frequency's Sake, you know what we mean.
During the break, I saw Joe Winkle wiping his eyes. I think it was a tear because he knows that I can't make it tonight on Educated Ignorance.
I'm gonna be a very sad boy. That is for sure. But I'm also just exhausted. I had a big day yesterday. We had the housewarming party. I drank for like 14 hours straight, but it was a great day. Yesterday was a great day. The team I cover won Friday. So yeah, it's been a really great weekend. So, but I'm just a little tired today. Sorry.
Yeah, I hear you there.
No invite for the housewarming party. I would have drove out.
Yeah, you would have caught that red eye yesterday.
You could Amtrak Chicago and then hop off, and I think Amtrak goes through your neck of the woods, doesn't it, Joe?
I don't know if the
Close?
train. No, a couple of like 45 minutes south.
Okay.
Yeah, but then you gotta trust Amtrak to be on time there.
I think the trains here in the city.
There's one I take back home. It says 9 hours. The last one I took, it took 18 hours to get home.
Oof.
Just say trains in Illinois aren't like trains in New York, where it's just cesspool of death.
Well, that's the subway, not the Amtrak. Well,
that's fair.
That's
fair.
That's the Amtrak station in New York.
It's
fair.
Right
right next to the homeless shelter. That's what they did.
Oh, got it.
There is the problem.
There it is. Okay, so we're gonna play Ultimate Roster here in a moment, but first, let's talk the first 2 weeks of Toys for Tots. Our leagues so far in the General League, Michael Slider in the Moline division is 4-0 with 357 plus points. He leads the way there, and then in our Ladies League, it's Jen Michaels. And she's 4-0 with 428 points. And in our staff, of everybody on for frequency's sake staff, the fifth overall scorer right now is Aaron Herman. And he is 4-0 with 330 points. I don't see any of our names anywhere close, boys.
Listen, I was all set for a good week, and Doug slapped the snot out of me last week. He had 4 players put up 30 points in the first half last week. I've never been beaten that bad in fantasy in my life. Like, I know my team's not going to do anything, but good God, like, I can't even do the WNBA show with this man after last week's game because that was just horrible. He had 6 players get 20 or more points.
Wow.
He got to 3 o'clock and he just started benching guys because he felt bad for you.
Burrow, Kamara, Godwin, Jefferson, Kittle, Metcalf, Taylor, and then his bench outscored my starters.
That's how you know it's a bad week.
Yeah, luckily I was away from home, so I just enjoyed my vacation and was like, let me get drunk.
My Toys for Tots leagues, that's the only. Listen, I'm not like this great fantasy player, but I have like success. I'm in the 2 or 3 leagues that I've cared about the most. I'm like a playoff team. If things go well and I don't get decimated with injuries.
You're Travis Kelce. You just got to get to the playoffs.
But the the Toys for Tots league, dog, I just get walked. Like my team was awful last year. This year it's been a nightmare. It's just, it is what it is.
I've got a plan on being in it next year. I got an invite from DJ, but had such a busy summer I didn't get to get in. But next year, even if I do bad, I'll have to join in. So
I'm like the opposite of a Dolphins fan or a Vikings fan, where it's just like, there's always next year. This year, my strategy this year is just saying, last year was my year. I finished like 3rd or 4th, and I missed out on the championship game in the Toys for Tots League by like a fraction of a point, if I remember right, and then I would have won the championship if I was in it. So I was a little salty, but I'm always thinking about last year. All right. Let's move on to Ultimate. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say real quick. So again, we appreciate everybody dropping in questions. Keep on dropping them bad boys in. The second week in a row that we've gotten a couple trade questions in the chat, and I figure it's, might as well. We have a quick little spot here. I think there's 2 of them back to back here. Let me find the first one.
Joe,
what's up?
I got this one right here. Start off with T. Higgins and Javonte for Shaheed and Dowdle. Are you taking that trade?
I think so. Okay, so if you're getting Higgins and Javonte, I would probably say no, because the biggest boom out of all those is Shaheed.
I was gonna say I like the Shaheed side there.
Yeah, and I don't know, Danny. What do you think, Javonte Williams? I'm not a big. What do you guys think of Javonte? I'm just like so out on the Broncos offense
but the problem with him is because running backs always do good in Sean Payton's system. He loves running backs. The problem is Javonte Williams does not stay healthy. Like, and that's the thing. Like, if you want him, then I would definitely try to find a way to get McLaughlin with him, or McLaughlin, whatever his last name is, because I keep thinking I keep thinking of Jordan. I keep thinking of Jordan McLaughlin from the Timberwolves. That's how much I miss basketball. I legit don't even know anymore at this point with like the Bengals. You don't know if they're gonna actually throw the ball to Jamar Chase or if they're just gonna play mind games with him to get him to sign a contract next year. Like it didn't look like they were trying to get him the ball at all last week from what I saw.
I think the Chiefs rolled a lot of coverages on him, made life difficult.
Who do they have this week? The Bengals. They play the the Commanders.
They play Washington tomorrow.
So I think it's worth it if you trust T. Higgins in that offense, then I think it's worth it. But if you have if he's wanting Shaheed and Dowdle, either he thinks something crazy is about to happen, or he's like desperate for running backs and a boom or bust player.
Who was it? Shaheed and who?
Dowdle.
Shaheed and Dowdle for Higgins and Javonte Williams.
It almost seems like he's. Go ahead.
I want the Higgins side here.
Ooh.
Honestly speaking, I think what's been wrong with the Bengals is losing Tyler Boyd and also being without T. Higgins for the first two games. They've been able to double press against Chase and against the Commanders. If they don't get it right tomorrow night, it's not going to get right all year. But Higgins is playing from what they say, and they're going to get it right tomorrow night. So Dowdle's starting to get more touches, but for some reason there's a love affair with Jerry Jones and his main running back there, Zeke. So yeah, I'm definitely going the Higgins Javonte side.
There was one other real quick one here that someone was asking. It was Juan here. He was asking head-to-head points. My RB1 is Breece Hall. Should I trade Ford or Kenneth Walker for a wide receiver? It depends on like who you get. I mean, if you're able to get somebody, I would say in that like top, and at least somewhere probably you could snare in like the 10 to 20 range, maybe, because some of those guys will have some, boom potential. And Kenneth Walker is such a freaking roller coaster.
I think he's out. I saw he's out today, by the way.
Yeah.
That's my big thing. His window right now for selling high is not right now for Walker. He was out last week and is out again today. So if you got the ability to wait till it has a big game, wait, because you're not going to get your best opportunity right now.
I think your best option right now, if you want to trade Walker, the problem is both of these guys have a running back they're going to be competing with, because once Chubb comes back, Ford's going to lose a lot of his carries. And when Walker comes back, it depends on how Charbonnet is doing. If Charbonnet comes out and has a great game against a running defense that's been pretty solid this year, I know you guys are Dolphins fans. You have a different opinion than me, probably.
Did we watch Cook last week?
I mean, their run defense is it's still mid. It's not down in the bottom half. And James Cook is James Cook.
I was going to say, James Cook says otherwise.
I mean, they did shut out Etienne, so I'll give them that.
That's true.
But I think if Charbonnet has a great week this week, then I think it's worth trading Walker and then maybe seeing if you could pick up someone, because that's the whole thing with running backs is there's always like 3 or 4 running backs that no one even thinks to draft, and then they become top tier players. So I think you keep Ford because Chubb's, even though he'll be fully healthy, I think they're going to be a little careful with him. They're going to kind of split the downs a little bit over the next like 4 or 5 weeks that he's in and go from there.
And I don't know. It's my personal opinion, but do y'all really think we're going to see the Chubb of old?
That's a major injury to bounce back from.
I don't think so, but that's why I say get rid of Walker, because Seattle tends to find themselves in these positions where they have to throw the ball a lot. At least with Cleveland, if Chubb's not doing the job, you have a guaranteed good running back and forward.
I agree. I would honestly hold off on the trade altogether. I mean, we've played 2 weeks. Walker's been out. Now this will be 3. Walker's been out 2, so you're not going to get high value. I agree Walker's a better option to trade, but I would personally hold if you can for another week or so.
Look at that. That's how you answer questions during the show as well. Just chip out a little trade pieces.
Who needs DJ?
I know, right? Also, Brian Blair, my good friend, you are satire, and I don't like it. Over by October, like second week of October at least. Slow and steady wins the race, dog.
The way he's playing, I'll do under by next season.
Yeah,
next season, October.
No kidding.
We'll take a quick break, and then we'll throw in Ultimate Roster really quick before we get into our next segment of Flex, Marry, Kill. How demonic are we? We'll be back. Serving the Quad Cities area since 1973, and with over 50 years of excellence on their track record, you'll see why it's so easy to trust their experts when it comes to all of your home improvement projects. This family-owned business has you covered on all your needs. Protect your home or building from the elements today and get great roof repair services. Need new windows? No problem. Durham Remodeling can upgrade your windows and doors. Whether you want to upgrade the little details in your home or office, or want to tear a room down and start fresh, the expert contractors at Durham Remodeling have your back. Even the smallest changes can completely transform your space. Ready to start entertaining your friends for backyard barbecues? Durham Remodeling will help you plan, design, and build your deck and patio for the perfect outdoor space. Durham Remodeling's work is 100% guaranteed, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best service around. Call 309-786-6715 today for your free estimate for all your roofing, siding, flooring, windows, and painting needs. That's Durham Remodeling, 309-786-6715. Back with more fantasy talk for week 3, getting ahead of myself. It's for fantasy's sake, and today we are going to talk about one of the most electric players in the last couple decades. We're going to talk Darren Sproles, and let's see if we can get that a little bigger here. I don't know if anyone else knows how to get that a little bigger or not, but
you got to zoom your computer in.
Do I? Okay. Let's see if I can. Okay. Well, we'll call that. I guess we'll call that good there. So what we got to do here today, it's ultimateroster.com. We're going to find teammates of Darren Sproles at any point in his 10 years with the Chargers, Saints, and Eagles, his 15-ish year career. But all career stats will count. So they could have played one game with him for the Chargers, but their 2018 stats somewhere else would also count. And we'll put a little roster together, and we'll see how well we do compared to the ultimate optimal roster. So let's start at the top.
The quarterback's got to be obvious, right?
Quarterback that played with Darren Sproles. Who are we taking as the most fantasy points?
I'm taking
Drew Brees.
The quarterback's easy. It's Big D Nick, bro. Nick Foles. What are you talking about?
All right.
I'm kidding.
So we got Breeze. We'll throw him in there. Phillip Rivers would likely also be another potential candidate there.
And wide receiver, I think he played with T.O., didn't he?
That's what I was thinking. Didn't he play like T.O.'s last year in Philly?
I don't know, man.
Terrell Owens was an Eagle for ESPN 2K5. I don't think Sproles was an Eagle, and he wasn't an Eagle till 2014. I don't think there was any overlap with T.O.
Let's go tight end Antonio Gates.
Yep.
I like that one. Okay.
Let's go wide receiver.
Running back, could you do LT?
Probably.
There should be enough overlap there.
Oh yeah, there is, because he was RB2 to LT. Okay.
I'm feeling pretty good about this lineup so far.
Y'all would know this better than I would, because I didn't do fantasy. I didn't start fantasy until like the mid 2010s. So this is like a late 2010 this is like a late 2000s, early 2010s one. Marquise Colston, Saints
The fact you
receiver.
said Marquise.
Is that his first name?
Marcus.
Marcus Colston.
That would be a question that I don't know the answer to. I recognize the
He
name,
was-
but I
he
don't
was
remember
breeze-
if he was
Ooh,
fantasy relevant or
Saints
not.
fan time. Let's go. Yes,
He was a seventh rounder.
He was their best receiver out of Hofstra. He was their best receiver on the fantasy team or on the Super Bowl team.
He was a dude. Like seventh rounder. Sean Payton saw him, was like, yep, this
He
is
was
a
like-
guy.
He was like the last receiver that Drew Brees stopped throwing nothing but slant routes to.
He wouldn't have crossed over with Keenan Allen, would he?
No.
No, I don't think so. I'm
No.
trying to think of what Eagles receiver was good when they had, or when he was on.
So he was an Eagle from 14 to 19. Saints 2011 to 2013. Chargers 2005 to 2010. Should we throw in Colston at receiver or flex?
I don't think
Flex.
it really matters if you do either or, but I think
Well,
Colston
it
and
kind
flex.
of-
Well,
it probably kind of matters,
do
but-
for flex? Could you do Shady McCoy?
That's a good one.
I was
Here we
thinking.
go.
This,
Should we,
I was
should we
thinking
roll
that
with?
too.
Should we roll with this as
Let's
our
roll with Colston.
as our quintet?
Because I can't think of a top receiver on the.
Look at that.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We literally got the top. We got 4 of the top 5. The only
I'm-
one that we did not hit on the money was Colston. Who would that have been? Let's
Real
look.
quick, real quick. Who do you guys think? Because I can't think of a receiver on the Eagles in that late stage or the Chargers that
Who did-
would have
who did,
been.
What about Deshaun Jackson?
Damn it! That you're right. That might be the one.
Oh, Keenan
Keenan
McCardle.
Keenan McCardell.
Keenan McCardle.
Wow.
I don't think any of us were going to come up with that one.
Does everyone here knows who that is, right?
Where
Oh
did
yeah, I recognize the
Okay.
name, but I would not have come up. I would not have come up with that with a gun pointed to my head.
The fact that
Where
they don't
would he
even have an
cross
image
over?
for him makes it more annoying.
I think McCardell played on the Chargers to end his career.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't imagine there was a whole lot of overlap there. I'm actually curious, and I'm going to look.
We could have
'Cause
had
McCardell-
1,000 guesses and never gotten McCardle.
Because I never knew McCardell played for the Chargers. I know
Yeah,
he
I
was,
didn't know there was any crossover.
2006, he was on the Chargers.
Okay.
I bet Deshaun Jackson was probably slightly better than Colston. Maybe.
Yeah, the majority of his career, like he peaked in the 90s.
yeah, he was on Tampa forever.
Nice. Okay. Well, hey, we did really good. I would put that. I think we did better than whatever you guys came up with week 1 or 2.
Joe, who was on Tampa forever?
McCardell, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he was on Jacksonville.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I do
Yeah.
think it was Jackson.
96 to 2001.
Well, okay, he was on Tampa when they won the Super Bowl, right? In 02 or 03?
Yeah.
Okay.
He went to
that's-
Tampa for 2 years.
Okay, yeah.
But
You're
his
right. I
best,
forgot that he played with Brunell in Jacksonville.
his best years came with Jimmy Smith at Jacksonville.
All right, that'll give us
Before
a
I
few
was
minutes.
born.
That'll give us a few minutes to flex, marry, or kill. My goodness, you guys are so barbaric here on For Fantasy's Sake, but I'm just reading the script, boys.
It's the best way to live, brother.
So
Well,
we're
we
gonna
couldn't
flex
use the
one.
other word.
We're gonna flex one. We're gonna marry one. So essentially, we'll start them as a running back or a receiver or a tight end if we want to get crazy, and then we'll stick with them every week, and then we're gonna off somebody. So our first trio is Jerome Ford, DeAndre Swift, and Najee Harris. Where do we want to start with this one? And I think
Y'all
the
know my
loser
hatred
of this
for-
one is going to get eaten by the dog that just barked.
Yeah, Rome. He knows my hatred for anything involving Arthur Smith, so I'm killing Najee Harris. I guess I'll marry DeAndre Swift because he won me a lot of games last year. But I'll flex Jerome Ford. Like I said, I think when Chubb comes back, he's got a spot in the offense for at least this year.
All right, and we'll do this. If anybody, whoever goes first, if anybody disagrees, we'll let them go. Otherwise, we'll just move on to the next one if everybody agrees.
Oh man.
It's hard for me to do this, but I'm gonna kill Jerome Ford and flex Najee Harris, and I'm good with Swift at starting.
Oh my gosh. These are because I want to kill Swift. Because sorry, DeAndre, because God, he makes me want to throw sharp objects at like pigeons or something. But I don't like Ford either. I can't believe I'm going to say I'm marrying Najee Harris out of this, and I despise Najee Harris. So yeah, and I guess I'll flex Jerome Ford. Good job by DJ to make that one tough because Jesus Louises, that is slop.
You really just want to kill all three, but
I do want to gulag them. Yes.
Now we'll move
have
on to
to-
receiver. Michael Pittman, Jalen Waddle, Tank Dell. Who do we flex, marry, and kill?
ouch.
I'll say, I'll go first.
Well, I'm
on
pretty
this
sure
one.
Michael Pittman has been dead to start this season. Can we kill somebody that's been dead?
That is a great point. Nick Brinks always brings the juice. Okay. I'm actually going to marry Michael Pittman. I think there's upside there.
For sure.
I'm going to flex Tank Dell, even with the slow start, though the way they're using him is a bit interesting so far. And Stephon Diggs, the Texans got someone who's really good, and, he's been really good. So weird. Oh, my goodness. Crazy talk. People thought Stephon Diggs was going to turn the Texans into like the 0-16 Lions or something because he gets a little sassy. And I'm going to kill Jalen Waddle for the fact that his quarterback for at least the next month is Skylar Thompson. Like, Bubba, I'm sorry, but unless McDaniel designs like swing routes or if they use him as like a wildcat quarterback in the next, because he's going to realize Skylar Thompson sucks. I just don't know. I don't think he's going to be effective.
I'm fine with all three. Coming from a Dolphins fan, if he's killing Jalen Waddle, that's fine with me. I hate to do that. I don't like Pittman, but I'm fine with the way we've got it. So
it's only quarterback dependent. If Tua was still playing, even though I think Tua of the first two until he got hurt was playing bad, Waddle would be fine. But with Thompson out there, I think Waddle's going to be the one that suffers the most.
Yeah, if you can accept, so can I. So.
The only thing I'll switch is I'll marry Tank and I'll flex Pittman. I think Richardson's found his favorite target in Alec Pierce, but I can't let go of Tank Dell. I just have hope like by week 5 he's going to be getting Nico Collins level targets and Stephon Diggs is going to start throwing hissy fits again. I think with Joe Mixon out, I think he's got a little bit more of an upside to get those yards, but that's kind of what I'm hoping out for. I'm delusional.
I can tell you how bad it is for me. I'm actually starting Deontay over Michael Pittman today. So
that's probably not a bad idea.
Ugh.
I know.
Him and Thielen are going to get like 100 targets just for the purposes of like, how angry they probably were the first 2 weeks. Also, random question. Do you think Andy Dalton's mad as hell right now? Like that man was just a backup. He was just living life, collecting that check. Now he's got to actually work because Bryce Young sucks at his job.
And he has to go against Max Crosby.
Yeah, good luck, buddy.
I do want y'all to remember that his last starting gig was in 2022, and Chris Olave had his best year out of his 3 with Dalton. So Dalton at least is decent.
No, you're right. And craziest take ever, or craziest stat ever, real quick, Danny. The Carolina Panthers in their last 65 games, their best passing yard game is Andy Dalton's one start for the Panthers last year against Seattle.
That's what I was going to mention is I remember last year around this time when Andy Dalton had to start, Nick thought I was crazy because I took Andy Dalton over 200 passing yards.
And he
had like 300 something.
361. Yeah. No, with Andy Dalton starting, my 0-17 Panthers take is easily in jeopardy.
I like it. Move on to tight end here. Hunter Henry, Pat Freiermuth, and Mike Gesicki.
Well, Henry
Browns.
Can I just focus on myself?
DJ's making these rough. You're up, Ryan.
Well, Henry's already played, right?
Yes, and he didn't do anything the other night.
And so
neither did the Patriots. He did have a solid first couple weeks, so overall.
The other two
wasteland that is tight end.
The other two options were Freiermuth, your boy, and Gesicki.
Okay, so I'm going to kill Freiermuth and start Gesicki, and Henry lands in the middle.
So you're flexing Henry, it sounds like, and Mary and Gesicki.
Yeah,
There you go. Hey, is Freiermuth still with the Steelers?
I think
Okay.
so.
So you're killing your guy too. You're like us Waddles.
It's going to be a running show. We're going to win today, but it'll be another field goal fest. 4 field goals today. We'll win 12-9. So
you've been you hit week 1 with the 6 field goals.
Yeah, and I got my touchdown right just to the wrong guy last week. So I don't see anything else today either. So
you didn't have 7 field goals last week, did you? For was it the
Broncos.
Commanders, right?
Oh yeah, for the command. Yeah, the Commanders. True. So yeah, we did get 6 field goals week 1. Nick and I theorized this last week. We got a 6 field goal win in week 1. We got a 7 field goal win in week 2. Who's our 8 field goal win candidate today? Is it the Chargers?
It's the Panthers.
Oh my God.
Dalton's going to put up 350 yards, but they're only going to get to the 4-yard line every time.
We're going to be talking about, do you draft a kicker for kicking vultures? For this one, I'm putting on a sweater, focusing on myself, and getting a cat. That's how bad this group of 3 is.
And getting a cat, you're the worst.
And really quickly, related question from George: Gesicki, Strange, Parkinson, or Ertz? Who are you starting at tight end this week?
Gesicki.
Yeah, Gesicki. The Commanders' defense is bleh.
So I miss my Mike Gesicki. I just didn't have a good place for him.
I was looking him up on DFS and I couldn't find him, but I guess Strange plays for Jacksonville, right?
That sounds right.
Yeah, that is correct.
And we move on to quarterback. I think I want to know what Joe has to say about this one. Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold, Deshaun Watson. Who are we flexing, marrying, killing, and giving illegal rubdowns to? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say that.
He lost his soul on that table. Deshaun, I can't believe I'm saying this. Deshaun Watson, sent to hell. Him and P. Diddy are going to share a cell. Freak Offs LLC. Shout out to them. Shout out to all that baby oil. We are going to flex Sam Darnold. I cannot believe I just said those words. Jordan Rangel is doing snow angels he is just living it. And we're going to marry Caleb Williams because
you've got too much invested in him already.
It's a slow start, man. Things happen. Everyone calm down. Guys, calm down. It's going to be fine.
Different. I'm starting Darnold. I'm flexing Williams, and I'll always kill Deshaun Watson. So.
Just like he killed his career.
Exactly.
All right, quickly, Dan. Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold, Deshaun Watson.
Make a baby oil reference. Yeah.
No, not even the baby oil. Did y'all see the video that he had 2 king-size mattresses next to a basketball court? That man was on another level of freaky.
Freak Off LLC, bro.
That man is more freaky than Joe when he talked about Caleb Williams in the offseason.
He threw for 30 touchdowns in a game, and I'll never start him in fantasy. So
it's for fantasy's sake, week 3 edition, and we will be back to talk some daily fantasy in just a moment.
When you're working to achieve your financial goals, it helps to have some trusted guidance along the way. Jared Zook with Country Financial is here to help you identify your goals and provide more support to work through any changes life may bring. As both a financial advisor of Country Trust Bank and registered representative of Country Capital Management Company, Jared can help you plan for your financial future. As a Country Financial insurance agent, he's prepared to help you with insurance options to protect the people and the things that matter most. Jared is there to support you as you plan for the future and to help you worry less and live more. Jared is licensed to insure in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Kansas, Missouri, and Tennessee. Call Jared today at 217-698-0599 or find him on Facebook at Jared Zook Financial Representative and tell him For Frequency's Sake sent you.
Daily fantasy time, Brian. Who do you have your eye on this week? I was telling Dan before the show, I've never been big into daily fantasy. I've dabbled maybe 1 or 2 matchups per year for the last few years, but this year I joined a weekly league with a couple buddies. So I need some advice. My first 2 weeks, I haven't done too hot. I've come in like 4th or 5th out of 6th both weeks. I need Brian to give me some tips for this week.
Hey, as long as you're having fun, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a fairly nice guy sometimes. So if you ever have any questions, I'll give you my email or Twitter or whatever, and you can ask me direct. I don't mind at all. So
perfect. Who you like this week? I don't know if do you guys still like to talk about
the one thing I'm having a mental block
of the week
the Cardinals
or
playing today?
Lions. That game is just going to be a money printer, baby.
Yeah, so my 2 games that I'm watching this week are the Eagles Saints and the Cardinals Lions. I think they're the games of the week to focus on like you said, on big scoring. So that's kind of where I'm at. My stacks, I got 2. I'm going with Murray, and I think the best stack with him is McBride. And my other stack from a lower cost, I said it earlier, I think Olave has a bounce back. So Olave and Carr are my stacks.
I like that. The one strategy that I've kind of used the first couple weeks to take advantage of lower salary guys and starting roles, like last week with McCaffrey out, I thought Mason was almost an automatic insert. This week I'm doing the same with Charbonnet. Do you like that strategy? Are there other guys that kind of fall into that same boat?
No, I like the strategy a lot, and a couple of cheaper guys. I have a hard time wrapping my arms around this guy, but the Texans' offense has been good, and I don't like Cam Akers, but I do like $4,700 at running back. So Cam Akers would be an example that somebody's going to get most of the touches. And the other guy that's really to keep an eye on, San Francisco's offense with CMC, Debo, George Kittle, it'll still function. So I like Juwan Jennings and Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk, of course, is you're having to pay up for Ayuk like normal, but Juwan Jennings is sitting at 4,100, and I really like him this week. So
a couple rookies.
Opportunity is the biggest part of fantasy because they set the prices like last Sunday and they don't adjust them throughout the week. So you're getting prices, like especially like on Mason last week. He's now gone up to 6,200, but I still like him in my lineups. He's still not getting priced right, but some of them get really priced under where they should be. So,
well, I would say with Akers, the one thing you got to be careful of is with Minnesota having such a solid kind of upfront 7, and them having such a good passing game. I think they're going to pass the ball a lot. The Betalytics that I use for pretty much all my fantasy and all my my football bets has Akers not even hitting 50 yards today and not even getting 15 touches. So I think if you're looking for someone maybe to like touchdown vulture, I think that could probably be the case because we saw it before. They like giving the ball to the running back inside the 5. But in that game, I think it's worth paying up for Diggs. I mean, this is a revenge game for him. His first game against Minnesota. I think if they don't focus on him, Nico and Tank Dell are going to go off. So I'm really looking at him in that game.
I don't blame you. I mean, like I said, I don't love Akers. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I do. But if I get 10 points, 11 points from him, and he could catch a couple of passes out of the backfield, and let's say he just gets the 50 yards, that's halfway to 11. So you get a 2-yard touchdown. That is 11. So, I mean, the moral of that story is you don't have to get much to get your money's worth. So, and you won't get much. it's like going to the Lizzie McGuire movie, and that's the only movie that was playing at the time. You know, you don't expect much, but hey, you might get something.
Who
You
had
grab some pop.
who had Brian making a Lizzie McGuire reference on their 2024 bingo card?
Did not have that one on mine.
Let's just say that was actually my wife's and I want to say second or third date, and I was working at midnight, and all the other movies were starting at 9:30. That started at 8:30, I guess, because it was such a bang up movie, but it went well. We've been married almost 20 years now, so thank goodness for Lizzie McGuire.
Oh,
That
I love
movie
it.
came out when I was 5. That's crazy.
I love it.
That's a great. What a name drop.
You mentioned Murray and stacking him. Are there other quarterbacks irrelevant on price that you like this week that you want to avoid? Derek Carr has been hot. Does he continue that against Philly, etc.?
Like I went with the Carr stack a little cheaper. Most of your other quarterbacks are a little more expensive than Murray. Murray's down the board to like 5th or 6th, and I don't mind the Darnold Jefferson stack. I mean, that could be a thing, but right around Murray, not really. And Murray's a little bit offset.
So I'll throw this one out there. I'm looking at the lineup that I've got set up for today. You tell me, where are my weaknesses? So I've got Carr, Mason, Charbonnet, Marvin Harrison Jr., Neighbors, Shaheed, Pierce in the flex, Bowers, Bears with $100 to spare.
That's actually really good. I got a lot of those players on my in one of my lineups as well. How much is Pierce? I don't remember that one.
48.
Honestly, if it was up to me, I swap out Pierce for Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Okay, I like that.
I think from top of my mind, I think you can do that.
I'll take a look. How far down I have to go to get him? Oh, he's 5,400.
Oh, that's too much. Where could you go differently?
Neighbors, is he a guy that we trust this week?
I like him better than Pierce, but he's also $600 more.
Yeah.
So I'd have to read that lineup off again, and I'll see if there's mentally something I can swap you with.
Carr, Mason, Charbonnet, Harrison, Neighbor, Shaheed, Bowers, Pierce, Bears.
What I would do is maybe go down from Charbonnet a little cheaper if there's somebody that you would like, and flip in Smith and Jigba.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Any defenses that we are keeping an eye on this week? That's usually where I kind of cheap out and I look for somebody with a good matchup.
You did great with the Bears. The nice thing about this week, there's actually 3 defenses below $3,000 you can go with. And I'm remembering the Bears, and then there's 2 other ones that are below 3,000. So, or 3,000 or below. So it's a good week for defenses this week. You don't have to pay up to do well.
How do we feel about the Cardinals defense? I know they're going up against the Lions, but the Lions, that offense isn't quite clicking on all cylinders yet, and the Cardinals are putting up 10 points a week so far.
Yeah.
They're the second cheapest option on the board.
Yeah, if I wanted to save money there and go elsewhere, I could. Personally, I pay up for the Bears because I really like the Bears matchup. But like you said, the Lions, you got Jared Goff. You got the Jared Goff factor. He's done well, but he's always on the road, always prone for an interception or two. So
he didn't earn the name Jared Goff for nothing.
Well, exactly. He's a different quarterback home and away. Let's be honest. So,
all right. Any final takeaways on DFS for today, Brian?
No, like I said, you can save some money on defense. You've got some pretty good options there, like Jawan Jennings for cheap. So it's a pretty good day for fantasy. That I didn't have too much problems in terms of saving money today. It was a pretty good option. So
I'll put you on the spot. One quick question. Last week, Alvin Kamara gets 4 touchdowns. Is there any guy that you've got on your radar today that you think, hey, if anybody was going to score 4 touchdowns or put up 40 points, here's the guy that I'm willing to spend money on? Does anyone jump out with a matchup like that to you? or anybody.
They do, but they're playing Monday night. I'm going to go with the Jamar Chase reverse factor. So
Okay, I like it.
if you're
Cool.
playing a single game on Monday night, you got to have Jamar Chase.
There we go. We'll take a break. We'll be back with Joe's picks, the Sinister Six. We'll talk some gambling, and then we've got a lot of questions to get to and a little time to do it. So we'll get there next.
My name's Ryan Allison. I've spent over a decade immersed in the art of tattooing. Sharply honing my skills has materialized into a diverse and prestigious body of work. Each tattoo reflects my relentless pursuit of excellence, and every client I work with is a living embodiment of that unwavering commitment. I will gladly and wholeheartedly embrace your distinct vision.
All right. If Joe goes 6-0 this week, he has told us that he will get Dan's face tattooed on his back.
On my
Oh,
face.
I was promised. I was promised he would do Educated Ignorant shirtless.
Maybe. Could be in the works. You never know. If Caleb throws for
Sinister-
if Caleb throws for 350 today, I might take my shirt off.
If Caleb Williams hits 200 yards passing, Joe will take his shirt off on live.
I like that too.
I think he'll get to 200 today.
And for
But
$350, we will get Ryan Allison on here to tattoo you live next
Yeah.
Sunday.
I'll get the no regrets right across my man.
No regrets.
No regrets, not even one letter.
No regret. No rugrats.
You got to come do the random tattoo like I did.
There you go. Is that a kitten?
No, it's a goat. We went to this place where you put a token in a gumball machine and you got to get what comes out.
Nice.
That's
like it.
nice.
That
That's
was in
pretty
that
good.
one movie, wasn't it? The No Regrets.
We Are the
Yeah.
Millers. Fantastic movie. It's one of those movies that's on TV so often, and I can't not skip past it when I find it in the TV guide.
There was a basketball player here at the University of Tennessee that did the exact same thing and spelled regrets wrong. So.
Oh, I love
We
it.
love it. God damn. All right, let's get busy today. Speaking of the Bears, they are on the picks this week. People will laugh. We're 5-7 through 2 weeks, which it's okay. Slow start. Trying to figure out trends. I'm a dumbass and bet a couple favorites I shouldn't have last week. That's fine though, because we're here today, and we're feeling good about what we got. We're starting to see some trends. We're starting to see some stuff going ways. So let's start with the Bears. All right. People are going to laugh. Oh, Caleb Williams bust. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. They're playing the worst defense in the league for a team that actually has a pulse. Because I do think the Colts are kind of good, even though last week was an embarrassment. The Bears also are 2-0 against the spread. Yeah. Eat that, suckers. We're going to pick them to cover the 1.5, because not only are they going to cover the 1.5, gentlemen, they're going to win on the field. Best defense in the league. Caleb gets a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe the center will block somebody today. I don't know. Just once or twice. That's all I'm asking. Just get a hand on a guy, Get up, move your feet. Bears plus 1.5 to the bank. Let's go to Minnesota. Jordan Rangel, cover your ears. This line is moved in the opposite direction. It is now Texans minus 1.5. I have the better team, the better quarterback. The coaching matchup, I would say, is about even to a degree, though. KOC, shout out to that guy. He maybe it is the coaching advantage is slightly in favor of Minnesota. But I got the better team, the better quarterback, going against the team who just had their biggest win that they maybe will have all year last week. So there's going to be a little bit of a come down effect. I'm laying less than a field goal. I know I'm on the road, But this is a weird one. I'm taking Houston winning outright, laying 1.5. Give it to me all day. Last spread play of the day. We've got some totals, boys. Trust me. It's about time we start. By week 9, we're going to be all 6 of these picks are going to be unders, by the way. But right now, we're going to just keep it. It's a 3-3 dosage today.
My graphics are going to be so annoying.
They are. Seahawks in Seattle, the Pacific Northwest. They take on Nick and I's beloved Dolphins today. And listen, man, sometimes you got a dog that you just love, and you just really want to cherish it, even though it can't get up on the couch anymore. You got to carry it everywhere. It lays down to drink water and eat food. It's just, it's time. And that's Miami. Because Skylar Thompson is employed and playing quarterback for the Dolphins today. And for some reason, the Seahawks, who have looked good, by the way, through 2 weeks, their defense has played well. Geno effing Smith, holler at me. Future Dolphins quarterback, Geno Smith. If the Dolphins had Geno Smith, they would be the best team in the AFC. Fight me about it. We're laying 4.5. It is the Vegas zone. It is a weird line. Because anytime you get in that 4.5 to 6 range, it always gets a little wonky. But we're going to lay the 4.5. Seahawks beat Miami at home against Skylar Thompson. Will Miami score double digits? I do not know. And then some totals. Eagles Saints. I don't believe in the Saints that much. I think it's a little bit of weirdness. They played the Panthers in week 1, and they played the Cowboys, who might not be good, guys, in week 2. I don't believe them that much. But I will say this. They'll look good again today because the Eagles' defense is bad. We'll see. But we're going over 49.5. Both teams score some points. Anything after a 24-24 game gets us home in that one. And I feel good about that. Now we got 2 unders. We start in Green Bay. We start in Nashville today. Tennessee Titans hosting the Green Bay Packers. It is a game that Malik Willis and Will Levis are quarterbacking. We are taking the under 37.5. The only thing that kills us is if Nick Brinks is just as Nostradamus-y as he was last week in predicting that the Packers will win 24-17, because that is the Titans' fate this year. That does not hurt. That hurts us. Anything under 20-17 does not hurt us, though. So we're going to go under 37.5. And then lastly, 2 awful offenses, 2 awful quarterbacks, 2 decent-ish defenses, at least defensive lines. The Giants' defensive line is solid against a bad Browns offensive line. And the defense for the Browns is at home, and they're good. Giants, Browns, under 38.5. So, Bears, Texans, Seahawks with the spread. And then Eagles, Saints over. Packers, Titans, and Browns, Giants, unders. Those are the Sinister 6 picks for week number 3. Danny, Brian, Nicholas, I don't know about y'all, but that smells like 6-0.
That smells like fresh ink.
Smells like a winner to me. Now, do you play all those games individually or as a parlay?
I do not parlay it, but I do, whenever
Joe
I
is a
Wimp.
I do not parlay it, but you find the ones that you like the most. You do a little bit of a dabble here or there. The question I've been asking myself recently is when am I going to start throwing exotic ass teasers on the Sinister 6 just to make Danny and DJ have to figure out how to put it on the graphic? Because there have been some early in this season where I'm
that's DJ. That's not me. I'm not doing that.
I'm starting to kind of get I'm starting to get a little frisky and thinking, this if I teased, like, these could be something. I haven't dabbled in that much, but you know.
You told me I couldn't parlay, so you cannot tease.
I know, that's true.
You
That's
told me
true.
I couldn't hit a parlay, so I can't tease.
I know.
So
Maybe
Gotham gambling. What are you liking this week?
So
Dan?
I got two favorite plays today and an anytime touchdown parlay. We're going to be trying to hit one of these every single time. I found all of these plays thanks to my amazing sponsor, Betalytics. If you guys want to try it out, you can get 25% off your first purchase using code Gotham. It's an AI-driven program that shows you every single projection, every single prop. It shows you what to bet, when to bet, and how to bet it. For example, we used it all day yesterday. We went 9-1 on college football, hitting 5 underdogs yesterday.
Jesus.
Thanks to them. And we parlayed all of them because we're not weak, Joseph.
But you still lost.
No, we parlayed the underdogs.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Yeah. No, I lost on Notre Dame. I lost on Notre
for
Dame.
Joe's tattoo. There you go.
Yeah, I lost on Notre Dame. That was the one that pissed me off. But
Hey, these are some hella. Hey, look, he nails. These are a couple good ass nails too. Rutgers on the road, Arkansas on the road, money lines. Those are some impressive ass hits today or yesterday. So big time.
So yeah, go check us out over on Twitter. We just posted our 2 plays. My favorite play for the 1 p.m. slate. I caught this on Monday. I was telling Joe about it when I was talking about the Saints game. I got Alvin Kamara at 62.5 rushing yards. His line is currently over 75.
Oh my goodness.
To show you the closing value on that play. Not only that, we are laddering him all the way to 100 from 1.5 unit all the way down to 1/10 of a unit. The odds are so different. We caught 90 plus yards at plus 300. It is currently at 150. So we got it for double the value of what it's at. If he does not hit 60, I will be so heartbroken I will not come on the show next week.
I love the
because I've talked about this way too much, and that's the problem.
I love the audible. Oh my goodness, from Brian. He was like, "Wait a minute, He's like, honey, bust out the 401k."
Yeah. And for my 4 p.m. pick, I'm taking the Raiders over 10.5 first half total. It's Andy Dalton. I have somewhat of a faith in Andy Dalton. And it's because last year he made me money, and I want to prove Nick wrong yet again. No offense, Nick. But I think given how slow that the Raiders have started the last 2 weeks, this is a great chance for them to just put the pedal to the metal in the first half, run up the lead, and not have to worry about an Andy Dalton comeback story. 10.5 points is easy. That's a touchdown and 2 field goals, or 2 touchdowns against one of the worst teams in general. I think they more likely would get it. If Bryce Young was playing, I would say they'd 2 pick sixes in the first quarter is most likely. But I'm taking the 10.5 first half total. I'm willing to risk that in the 4 o'clock game. And now to my favorite play. It's a 3-leg plus 1,500 parlay for anytime touchdown. I've been studying this, watching the lines all week, and this is without a doubt my favorite play today. So the first leg is Stephon Diggs to score a touchdown, mainly because this is a revenge game. I think, especially with mixing out, they are going to be targeting passing at a higher percentage rate. I think we could see Stroud hit 40 plus passes today with ease. So I'm trusting him there. I'm taking Rashid Shaheed, my personal favorite play. And the reason I say that is week 1, Shaheed's anytime touchdown line was plus 400. It's all the way down at plus 150 now. So even the books are understanding. There's another audible from Brian. So we already know this is a great play. And he's become the favorite target. If it's not Olave, when he gets the ball, it's a 70-yard play downfield. This Eagles defense is hurt. They're still trying to understand Fangio's defense. And I said it week 1, Fangio's defense takes more than 3 weeks to learn. It's going to take them a while. Week 7, week 8, they should be fine. Week 3 against one of the hottest teams in football, this is a very hard matchup for them. And they're going to exploit it with these deep balls against a younger-ish secondary. So I'm taking Shaheed. And then the last one is Devon Achane. I don't understand why this is plus money, especially with Mostert out. I caught it at plus 140. It's currently at plus 120. I would take it all the way down to Betalytics has this projected at even money at plus 100, so I would take it there. But you can parlay all three of these guys, and currently it's at, I caught it at plus 1,500. It's currently at plus 1,370. Easy money, round robin it, straight bet it. You could put $5 on each as a round robin, a straight bet, and a parlay. You're only spending $35 with the chance to win over $400 this week.
Love it. We've got listener questions coming up. Joe, what do you got?
I was just gonna say that ATTD parlay was the one you sent me the other day, right?
Yeah,
that was a good one. Some big number on it. That's something we're gonna start putting together each week. I wasn't able to get back to Danny about it much because when he sent it, I was busy working. I was on the clock getting after it. Bullets were flying, but no, that was a good one. I like that one, and yeah, I think a lot of winners this weekend, because that's what winners do, is win. And that's what we all are winners.
and we're also going to post an underdog of the day once I get a little bit more research done. It's probably going to be the 4 o'clock or the late night window, so just make sure you guys check the For Frequency page and my page Gotham Gambling for that as well.
I just got to throw this out there. You mentioned Achane. My best bet of the entire season so far was finding him anytime touchdown last week at plus 260. One of the books fell asleep. Everybody else was like even money. Achane was plus 260, and I hammered
Fanatics is such a terrible book, and it does
No, that means that they are a great book. Because
no, that's what I'm saying. They're so
completely
bad at watching lines. It's not even funny. Michael Rubin is so worried about if he gets caught in a Diddy scandal that he's forgotten how to run his sports book.
So
I have one
I want to mention that. Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
What is a round robin, Dan?
So a round robin is if you take a 3-leg parlay and you can break it down into twos. So in this case, if Achane and Diggs both score, but Shaheed doesn't, you win some of the, in this case, you would win your more, it's better used when all the bets are like plus money, so you can get some kind of coverage and some kind of profit. But in this case, so if 2 of the 3 hit, I'll at least make my money back instead of losing the whole thing. So whenever I do big plays like this, I always round robin them, because if 2 of the 3 hit, I win my money back. If all 3 hit, you win each individual round robin, so you win extra money for like an extra $1.50 or $2 betting.
It's like a pick six at the horse track where you hit 5 of 6. You get a little.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've got 2 anytime touchdown parlays really quickly. I've got Kamara, Achane, Henry in one. On FanDuel, they had the best odds there. And then on Fanatics, I've got Taylor, Connor, Aaron Jones in another. All running backs. Those are my 2 picks for this week.
We'll take one more break. My plus 2,000.
Say what?
You want me to send you my plus 2,000?
You can send it in the chat here. We'll take a break, and we've got some questions to answer. We'll see how many we get through. Joe has been waiting so patiently. Not that Joe, the other Joe in the chat. We'll get to his question and more.
We appreciate you, Joe.
Next.
You from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football. Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and Twitter, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
You from the West, we got you covered.
Do you love everything sports? So do we. That's why we shop at Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles. Atomic has everything you could ever want to blow up your collections. They have sports cards ranging from the 1980s to today, whether it's singles, wax packs, hangers, or boxes. They've got vintage hats, clothes, and collectibles from your favorite teams to widen your collection. Check out Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles today at 102 4th Street West, Milan, Illinois.
Joe has been waiting so patiently. We'll throw his question in here. He asked it at the top of the show, had to do some moving, wasn't sure if we got to it yet or not. Jerome Ford against the Giants or Aaron Jones against the Texans? Who do we like there?
Give me Ford. That's one of that is, I think I'm gonna pull the banner up that I worked so hard on that I forgot to put up. Right here, Jerome Ford, 6 yards per carry. New York is 28th in rushing yards allowed. I think at this point, even Stefanski is tired of Deshaun Watson. I think he's gonna trust the run here against this defense, and he's gonna go off. I don't trust Aaron Jones versus a rushing defense that's top 10. I think they're gonna force Minnesota to throw.
I'm going Ford as well. I don't think he got hurt last week, but he had a weird stat line. He had like 6 carries for 62 yards. So I really don't know what happened in that game. I'm still going to trust Ford, though.
First on race day, Jerome Ford. Breaks you like that one.
I chuckled. Here's a PPR flex. We're picking 2 of Charbonnet, Pollard, and Neighbors.
I'm sitting Pollard.
I think that's what I would lean that as well.
Yeah, same.
Charbonnet, Pollard, and Neighbors. I'm sitting. No. I'm sitting Charbonnet. Pollard's gonna fucking get his Zeke on today.
Didn't y'all just clown me for saying that the Dolphins' run defense was good, and you're not even going to start Charbonnet?
I didn't say a damn
I'm
thing.
I'm starting Charbonnet because I have no faith in that Dolphins' run defense after last week.
Thank you, Nick.
I'm not
You're
saying
pessimistic like me.
And I've got the banner here.
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying I think they've shown
the darkness consume you.
Their offensive line is good, and the Packers' run defense ain't great. Jonathan Taylor gashed them last week. Shane Steichen just forgot that every time Jonathan Taylor got a 10-yard run, which was like every time he gave him the ball, it was like the Men in Black zap, and it made him forget that Jonathan Taylor existed. So then he just threw the ball with Anthony Richardson 3 more times, and that didn't work. I don't think the Titans are going to do everything they can to not let Will Levis make decisions today. So
I want to find a line of Will Levis interception and see who's got the best line on the over half. Maybe
I got you.
Maybe just put a mortgage on it.
Yeah,
I got you.
What's gonna make Will Levis do the surrender cobra today?
So while Dan's looking up that fun stuff, here's a flex question: full PPR, Chris Olave or Josh Jacobs? Brian feels good about Olave today, but Jacobs, he's the workhorse.
He is. I'm still gonna say Olave because I believe that the rush defense against Jacobs is going to be better. Can't be any worse than last week. So
they must be pretty good at running back if they don't have room for Jacobs at running back.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
I will say let's go Olave here, just because it was nice to see him actually have a decent game last week, and I think the Titans are going to listen. I love Shane Steichen. God, the Colts got deep pants yesterday last week when it came to coaching. And I'm not even a huge Callahan's fan, but the Titans have an amazing defensive line. They have some decent linebacker play. They are going to, not just sit 6 or 7 guys in the box when the Packers are quarterbacked by checks notes Malik frickin' Willis. They will have a game plan against Josh Jacobs today. I don't think they're going to allow 300 billion yards in the first half, like the Colts did last week.
Quarterback. Go ahead. Go ahead, and we'll move on to this one.
Yeah, I'm taking Olave. I got the lineup whenever you're ready.
For Levis?
For Levis, yeah.
What's the Levis interception line?
Best line, Caesars 105 minus 105.
Even money for him to throw an interception, basically?
Yeah, crazy.
But a fun fact with
what are some of the worst odds? Other books, do you know?
Minus 120 is the worst one right now.
Do they just think he's not going to throw it at all? If that ball's in the air, it's getting intercepted.
So here's what's interesting. I'll pull it up on Betalytics. They actually are showing Will Levis here. One of the best graded plays of the day is Will Levis to throw 2 touchdowns. The books have it at almost 3-1 odds. They think it needs to be double your money. So their projections and their AI are saying that this play needs to drop. And they actually are saying it's more probable that he's not going to throw an interception this week than he is.
Wow.
The line's actually priced.
That might scare me away then.
Yeah, that line, that they said that from their projection, the line's actually priced like on the money, on the right spot.
So that's one quarterback that none of us have faith in this week, but analytics apparently think he could do okay. Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Derek Carr, not David,
David Carr.
or Geno Smith. Who are you starting at QB this week? And
I'm
is
starting
Carr
David
not
Carr.
the obvious answer?
David Carr is the obvious answer here. I mean,
let's bring David out of TV retirement.
Also, shout out to this dude's name, Turbo Minecraft legend.
that's great.
I'm gonna start Gino.
I'm going to go Carr. I'm kind of in a toss-up between Carr and T-Law, but I don't like starting quarterbacks on Monday night because then if they have a bad game, it's your last resort and you're done.
I'm going to start
I like
Carr.
Carr here.
I'm close between Carr and Smith, but I could see the Seahawks getting out to a lead and not needing to throw as much. So
here is a question from Philip. This poor soul. Oh boy. He's being forced to start the Chiefs rookie already. Steele. Foreman. I don't even know where Foreman plays. Deonta Foreman's playing these days. And then I'm guessing this is Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, Reynolds is on the Broncos.
Foreman's on the Browns.
Cleveland, yeah.
Okay, so he's the backup running back right now.
You know what, Philip, with an F, love that. Shout out to you, my friend. Start Carson Steele for the vibes.
the big thing about three guys like that is touches. Steele's going to get the most touches, so you take Steele. And I love his hair; it's awesome. I wish I had that.
And then
when you
win your matchup this week, you change your team name to Balls of Steel because you made that decision.
Yeah, let's go.
Just wanted to point out, it's crazy. Nick has a buzz cut, and he has the most hair out of all of us right now.
Hey, man, we're
Jackson Smith in Jigba or Najee in half PPR.
You already know my answer. Anything involving Arthur Smith is a no. I'm going JSN.
I'm a Steelers fan, but I'm still going JSN. So
I like that. Here's a team decimated with injuries. Need help in the flex spot. Deontay Johnson or Jake Ferguson?
Johnson. I think
he is in Carolina now, right?
Yes.
I am not up on my Panthers roster knowledge.
I have a little concern about Jake Ferguson being 100% after missing last week. So I'll go Deontay.
I'll go Deontay just because I don't trust anything against Baltimore's defense. I have a feeling their defense is going to step up in the next week or two.
We'll try to squeeze in as many of these rapid fire as we can. Juan's got a question. He needs to fill a few spots here. Both receivers, second running back, and a flex. He's got DJ Moore, Alec Pierce, Calvin Ridley, Tank Dell, Jerry Jeudy, with Kyron Williams, Jerome Ford, and Josh Jacobs.
Oh my!
Give me Pierce, Jeudy, Ford, and Jacobs.
No faith in Kyron this week.
Not against 49ers defense.
Wide receiver 1 and 2, RB2 and flex. Juan wants us to set his whole lineup. Oh, Jesus. DJ and Pierce. I wouldn't do that. DJ and Ridley. And then go. Your RB2 should be Kyron?
Especially since you already got.
No, Josh Jacobs. Play Josh. No, Kyron. Do Kyron. Just let it ride with Kyron. What's the worst that can happen? Someone has to get yards on the Rams today.
I'll just go with the guys. I'll be honest, it's too hard for me to shuttle through. So
loud noises.
Drake London had a nice week last week. Caught the game winner. Experts say start London, but do we go Amari Cooper instead? It looks like it's essentially a Cooper London question.
I'm gonna go Cooper. I think he's at least getting 4 catches today, so you got to add the points there.
He also doesn't want to be too heavy on the Falcons.
I'll be honest with you. Just like I'm sitting Deshaun Watson, I'm sitting Amari Cooper until he gets an opportunity to get his massage. So
someone needs to running back help here. Kyron, Derrick Henry, James Cook. I'm assuming you got to pick 2 because if you can only start 1 out of these 3 guys, your roster is
stacked.
Yeah. So we'll assume pick 3, but let's rank them 1 to 3, I suppose. Just in
Give
case.
me James Cook guaranteed start. we saw A-Chain kind of go off against Jacksonville's D. Their running defense hasn't looked the best in my opinion. So and the way Cook's been playing, he's a stud. So I'm taking him.
Who were the first two?
Kyron and Henry.
I'm going Henry if we need. I'm going Cook 1, Henry 2, and then Kyron at 3.
Okay, that works. Well, let's see. We'll maybe go a couple minutes over.
Hell yeah.
How
DJ's
long,
not here.
How long can we go over? That's the question. How long have we been going over the first couple weeks?
7 or 8
Not
minutes.
really.
Oh, there we go. We got time. Here's the lineup this week. I'm guessing this is Z Smitty saying this is his
To play.
maybe this is his DFS.
I'm gonna go.
No, there's no way that's DFS.
I
Oh
think
wait,
this
there's
is just his actual lineup.
Okay, I didn't see the there. Drake or Coop. Okay, so
Oh,
I'm
so
gonna
he's
take the
asking
first
basically-
one.
not really a
Yeah.
question there, except maybe Drake or Cooper. think
Yeah, I
that's
would say
basically
yeah,
we
I
just
think
answered
Drake.
that.
It's a solid lineup though. Gibbs and Bijan, that's nice.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs is your third running back. That's not a bad lineup. Steelers defense, that's a good one right there. That's a good one.
Smitty also says trade Ford after this week. Chubb hopefully coming back soon. I think I know who this person is. Dan, do you?
Yeah, she's been asking me all week, and I'm tired of it. I told her to
So
ask
this
you
is
guys.
for Joe and I guess. How do you think the Dolphins are going to do this season now that Tua is going to be out for a while? And I have no faith.
Ass.
Nick's been drinking.
Are Waddle and Hill going to get more rushing yards, receiving yards, or less? You know what? They might need to run them more. They might need to.
Just the screen pass and let Tyreek go.
Oh, I want to have faith that Thompson almost beat the Bills in that playoff game a couple years ago, but that was more because Josh Allen continued to self-destruct more than anything Skylar Thompson did.
You do that weird formation where it's the center, one offensive lineman, and you just put 5 people behind Tyreek on the right side and let him go.
Just keep the faith, Bills fans. One year, the Cowboys and Bills will make the Super Bowl, and somebody will have to win. So,
and me and Joe will grow hair.
Exactly.
Yeah, anybody who wants to use that Skylar Thompson game against the Bills in the playoffs as like a reference that it might be good, go look at the drives that the Dolphins scored on, where those drives started
from that game.
Yeah, go look at where the drives the Dolphins scored on, where they started, and then tell me if you think Skylar Thompson's good.
We're gonna pick 2 here: DJ Moore, Zay Flowers, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and I'm drawing a blank on
Jamison Williams. Jamison Williams and DJ Moore.
Give me the double J's.
Give me Jamison Williams and Jigba.
Okay. Schultz or Ferguson at tight end?
I'm going to go with Ferguson in this case. He could play a half and still beat Schultz. So
I'm gonna just go. I'm not even gonna answer. I can't. That just makes me want to throw up looking at it because I also drafted Ferguson, so I'm in your boat.
Yeah, that's fair.
We're gonna pick a couple here: Amari Cooper, Brian Thomas Jr., Alec Pierce, Deontay Johnson, and Zamir White.
I'm going Thomas Jr. and Deontay.
Same.
DeMarcus Robinson, Deontay, or Shakir?
Robinson and Deontay.
I would say Deontay Oh no, god damn it. Shakir. I would if it's between Shakir and Deontay Johnson, I want proof of concept before I bench Shakir.
Okay. Question from Jesus on the Sabbath. On the 7th day, Lord said, watch for fantasy's sake. And he says, how we doing? We're doing well. Full PPR. And Jesus says, we got to start one running back and a flex. We're looking at Rashad White, Najee Harris, Ford, London, Neighbors, Jameson Williams, Brian Thomas.
Oh,
Give
man,
me
Neighbors or
White.
JMO is a tough.
Yeah, give me White and JMO. I think they're gonna get him the ball really close to the end zone because he hasn't scored yet. They're gonna make sure he gets a touchdown today.
And I think Neighbors over JMO slightly, probably because his target numbers are just insane through 2 weeks. And then Rashad White, which is unfortunate, but, give it to him.
And our final question for today. Pick 2. Amari Cooper, Brian Thomas Jr., Deontay Johnson, Zamir White, and Alec Pierce. Is that the same question? I think it was. He just asked it again.
Yeah, it was. Yep,
Yeah.
Sorry. There we go. Now we got to give him 2 different answers to fuck with him. BTJ and Deontay out of that group.
Same here.
Can we talk about real quick this trade this guy put in here that he took in his roster? Look at that. Who are you playing with that you got that?
He said traded J.K. Dobbins and Jordan Mason for Jamar Chase. He got Amon-Ra, Chase, Ayuk, Zay Flowers. I was going to say, why would you trade Dobbins and Mason when Dobbins is on fire and Mason, there's no guarantee
Jacobs, Kyron, Charbonnet out. Like, who are you trading?
He's
who are
got
you
that.
Playing with?
That's not a bad
a four-man league.
Yeah.
That's an all right trade because people are going to say.
I mean, eventually Gus Edwards has to become a bigger part of that backfield too, right? Dobbins is kind of a hot hand right now.
No, Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards wasn't going to do anything until Dobbins got hurt last year.
Okay.
I'm so mad at myself. It's a health thing. I'm so mad at myself because in all my leagues I wanted to prioritize getting both Chargers running backs, and I kept taking Gus Edwards first and then getting sniped for J.K. Dobbins, and I'm a fucking moron because I should have thought of the other way around.
Well, don't
I'm
feel
an idiot.
It wouldn't shock me if the same thing happens in Los Angeles that happened in Cleveland, and then neither one of them was worth anything last year. So, I mean, Baltimore.
Can we have that be Joe's new intro when he just says I'm a fucking moron, and then it cuts right to the educated ignorance theme?
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Got it. So this guy, the guy he traded, needed an upgrade on Gus Edwards, and he's going for ceiling. So I can appreciate getting rid of Mason right now because eventually that backfield shouldn't be his anymore, assuming McCaffrey plays this year. Like, we don't think it's that serious, but we didn't, we thought we would start week 1.
I think it could be serious. Achilles, calf tightness and an Achilles strain. So the only thing that worries me there is I would have stashed Mason because his numbers are going to be juicy. Because I don't know how many games Christian McCaffrey is going to play this year, but that is what it is. All right, Brian, tell everybody good luck in their games today.
Good luck, everybody. May all your close finishes be winning ones,
and may you win all your bets.
Exactly, and DFS. May it all
stay
be
live for stay tuned for Joe's live tattooing tonight.
Exactly, 6-0. Caleb's going to throw for 350 and 3 tuds. And rush for a tud, and I'm gonna rip my shirt off on the air tonight.
And if your games get bad, go find that Lizzie McGuire movie. So
let's go.
Vibes. We are ready for week 3 of the NFL season. You've been watching For Fantasy's Sake, presented by Clint's Draft House Pizza and Grill. Have a good Sunday, everybody.